It all began on a quiet, unassuming night in October 2017, when the universe decided to surprise us. Astronomers using the Pan-STARRS 1 telescope in Hawaii spotted something new, a faint, fast-moving point of light, unlike anything they had seen before. At first they thought it might be a comet or an asteroid, the usual suspects in our cosmic neighborhood. But this visitor was different, stranger than anything in the catalog. It came from a direction high above the flat plane where all the planets orbit the sun, a true interstellar traveler from another star system, plunging into our solar system from the unknown. We named it Oumuamua, a Hawaiian word meaning a messenger from afar arriving first, a fitting name for such a mysterious guest. Its light curve, how its brightness changed as it spun, suggested a bizarre, elongated shape perhaps 10 times longer than it was wide, like a cosmic cigar tumbling through space. There were no signs of a coma, the fuzzy cloud of gas and dust that typically surrounds a comet as it nears the sun. This lack of a cometary tail was deeply puzzling, leaving astronomers scratching their heads. If it were icy, the sun's heat should have vaporized its surface, creating a visible tail. But there was nothing, no outgassing, no visible vapor, just silence. It was a contradiction wrapped in a mystery, challenging everything we thought we knew about cosmic objects and their behavior. As it whipped around the sun at incredible speed, we scrambled to learn everything we could before it slipped away forever. We pointed every telescope at it, from ground-based observatories to the powerful Hubble Space Telescope, hoping for answers. We even listened for radio signals, searching for any hint of technology or artificial origin, but all we received was silence. No messages, no signals, just the quiet of deep space. It was a dark, reddish object, likely battered and weathered by countless years of exposure to cosmic rays during its journey between the stars. It offered no clues about its home star or precise composition, only the faint story told by its reflected sunlight and mysterious motion. And then, just as quickly and mysteriously as it had appeared, it was gone, racing out of our solar system, leaving us with more questions than answers and a sense of awe. Oumuamua was a messenger, but its message was one of profound ambiguity, a cosmic riddle that continues to inspire wonder and curiosity. The story of Oumuamua should have ended there, with its mysterious passage through our solar system already rewriting what we thought we knew about interstellar visitors. But just as scientists were preparing to close the book, it had one last surprise in store for us. As we tracked its departure, we noticed something astonishing. Oumuamua was accelerating, as if receiving a gentle push from an invisible hand, a push we could not explain with our current understanding of physics. Gravity alone couldn't account for this unexpected change in trajectory. The object was moving faster than any natural force could justify. For a comet, this kind of acceleration would be explained by outgassing, jets of gas and dust acting like tiny rocket engines. But Oumuamua showed no signs of such activity, no visible tail or cloud. It was behaving like a comet, yet it looked like an asteroid, solid, dry, and featureless. This puzzling discrepancy became the central problem that kept astronomers awake at night, poring over data and debating possibilities. Several theories were proposed, ranging from exotic interstellar materials to a highly porous structure that could interact with sunlight in unexpected ways. The most provocative theory came from Harvard astronomer Avi Loeb, who suggested that solar radiation pressure, the force of sunlight itself, could be responsible. For this to be true, Oumuamua would need to be incredibly thin and light, almost like a solar sail, an object designed to be pushed by starlight. A solar sail is not a natural object. It is a piece of advanced technology, something we have only begun to experiment with ourselves. The suggestion was bold. Oumuamua might be an artifact from another civilization, a messenger from the stars. This idea was met with skepticism and debate, but no natural explanation seemed to fit all the facts we observed. The messenger had left, but its parting gesture, a tiny, inexplicable push, planted a seed of doubt and wonder in the minds of scientists everywhere. A seed that would lie dormant for years, quietly waiting for the right moment to sprout into new questions and new explorations. The scientific community was left to ponder the implications of this mysterious visitor, debating its origins and what it might mean for our understanding of the cosmos. Was it a probe, a piece of interstellar debris, or something else entirely, something we have yet to imagine? The principle of Occam's razor suggests we should prefer the simplest explanation, but sometimes the universe refuses to be simple. As time went on, the simplest explanation seemed to be the most extraordinary, challenging our assumptions at every turn. Oumuamua challenged our understanding of the universe and our place within it, forcing us to confront the unknown. It left us with a profound sense of wonder and curiosity about what lies beyond, inspiring a new generation to look up and ask, what else is out there? Years passed and the world moved on, the mysteries of the cosmos fading into the background of daily life. The strange visitor called Oumuamua slowly slipped from public consciousness, its story becoming just another footnote in the annals of astronomical history. But then, in the spring of 2025, everything changed. A new object was detected in the distant Kuiper belt, far beyond Neptune's orbit. Its trajectory was unmistakably hyperbolic and interstellar, a path that felt eerily familiar to those who remembered. To everyone's astonishment, this wasn't a new object at all, it was Oumuamua itself, inexplicably returning to our solar system. This event defied everything we understood about orbital mechanics and the laws of physics as we knew them. An object on a hyperbolic escape trajectory is supposed to leave forever, never to return. Yet here it was, back again. For Oumuamua to reverse course would require an unimaginable, colossal amount of energy, far beyond anything nature could provide. The implications were staggering, hinting at forces or intentions we could scarcely comprehend. As our telescopes focused in, we realized with growing unease that Oumuamua was not alone this time. Trailing behind it was a fleet of smaller objects, each moving in perfect unison, as if following a leader. They glided through the void with Oumuamua forming a silent, ghostly armada that seemed to defy explanation. The solitary, enigmatic visitor had returned, now leading the vanguard of an entire procession of unknown origin. The scientific community was thrown into chaos and disbelief, scrambling to make sense of this unprecedented event. Every observatory and radio dish on the planet turned skyward, their instruments locked onto this impossible fleet, desperate for answers. The companions were real, their movements perfectly synchronized with the lead object, as if guided by a shared purpose. The return of Oumuamua was no accident of nature, it was a deliberate act, a message written across the stars. The messenger had come back, and this time it had brought company, an entire fleet of enigmatic travelers. The once silent tumbling rock was now the leader of a disciplined, organized fleet, moving with purpose through the darkness. Their course was clear. They were not heading for Earth, but embarking on a grand tour of the solar system, their intentions unknown. The questions we asked in 2017 now seemed almost quaint, overshadowed by the enormity of what we faced. Now, the new questions were far more urgent and infinitely more terrifying as we struggled to understand what was unfolding. The universe had sent us a message, one we could no longer ignore. It was time to listen and to prepare for what might come next. The true nature of the event became clear as we studied the companions. They were arranged in a precise geometric formation, a vast three-dimensional lattice of objects, all moving in perfect synchronization. This was not the chaotic dance of a shattered comet, this was the disciplined march of a squadron. This synchronized movement was the smoking gun. There is no known natural force that can keep a swarm of objects in such a tight formation. This was evidence of a highly advanced technology. A technology capable of coordinating hundreds of independent craft with flawless precision. The debate was no longer about whether Oumuamua was natural. The debate was now about the nature and intent of the intelligence behind it. We watched, mesmerized, as the fleet performed maneuvers that should be impossible. This was not rocket science as we knew it, this was something else entirely. The fleet was a masterclass in celestial choreography, and we were the bewildered audience. The initial reaction from the scientific community was one of skepticism. Every possible natural explanation was proposed and examined. The fleet's behavior was too precise, too coordinated, too deliberate. The math simply did not work for any natural phenomenon. One by one, the walls of skepticism crumbled, replaced by awe. We were witnessing something that would change humanity forever. The shift in perspective was palpable. The question was no longer what is it, but what are they doing, and what do they want? This moment marked a fundamental paradigm shift in science and human thought. The universe was not silent. We were just not listening for the right thing. As astrophysicists struggled to comprehend the fleet's technology, archaeoastronomers noticed unsettling parallels. In scattered locations across the globe, they found ancient petroglyphs and carvings that were eerily familiar. They depicted a formation of lights in the sky, intricate patterns that matched the Oumuamua fleet. It was as if our ancestors had seen this exact same fleet and recorded it in stone. The implications were mind-bending, suggesting a recurring pattern stretching back into human history. The fleet's behavior continued to baffle us. It showed no interest in Earth, focusing elsewhere. It sent down subprobes to Mars, Jupiter, and Saturn. This led to a new theory about their mission. They were not explorers but auditors. The fleet was methodical, systematic, and repetitive. It was as if the solar system was on a schedule for a routine inspection. The probes seemed to be scanning planetary magnetic fields and gravitational resonances. This idea of a cosmic audit was both fascinating and terrifying. The technology they used was beyond our comprehension. They were ghosts in the machine, taking notes before vanishing back into the night. As the fleet completed its survey, it began to reassemble. Without a flicker of light or a whisper of a signal, the armada accelerated into the void. It left as it had arrived, in silence, with mystery and with indifference. We were left behind, forever changed by the encounter. The silence they left behind is more deafening than any message they could have sent. We are a data point in a galactic survey. The universe is not hostile, nor is it friendly. It is simply busy with other matters. We are now forced to live with the knowledge that we are being watched. The sky is a potential stage for the return of the auditors. We wait for the day the silent auditors return to check on their work.